Katya, how can you not understand? Reading is so boring. I hear that almost every day. I teach reading. That's why I hear that reading is boring, this is boring, that is boring. When I ask kids to define what boring is, they get stuck. Kids get stuck because what they really mean to say is that it's hard. It's really difficult to detect an endless stream of words on the page. On top of it, I'm required to understand what that endless stream of words mean. When kids say that something is boring, they're usually concealing their own deficiencies. Maybe they're overwhelmed with the difficulty of the task. Maybe they're lacking the skill, just like with reading, to go through the task as quickly as they would like. So they're labeling it as boring or useless. Saying that I don't really know what these two letters, what this cluster sounds like in a word. Saying that, oh, I'm really confused by the previous paragraph. Saying that I'm having difficulty picturing this. Saying that I don't know what this word means. I don't recall this character appearing in the novel. That is declaring their own failure. When kids say, this is boring, they're declaring someone else's failure. Usually, that's the failure of a teacher or the failure of the author who wrote the boring book. You and I know all books cannot be boring, but if we come from the place of help and we deconstruct the boring with our children, when they say, Mom, reading is boring, sit them down and ask, is it hard for you to detect letters? And don't take their word for it. Actually ask them to read out loud for you, and you would be able to see if they're making a lot of mistakes or they're fine detecting the words. A lot of the kids have no problem detecting the words, but they can't follow a story. It's hard for them to keep track of all of the characters and actually understand what is being described in a literary passage or a nonfiction passage. When we change the conversation from reading is boring to reading is hard, it may not seem an easy step to take, but once we realize, okay, reading is hard, now the conversation is how can we make it easy? What is it that we need to work on? Is this the comprehension? Is this word detection? Once we make reading easy, once we make it effortless, reading will no longer be boring. Because you and I know reading is fun. Reading is opening a new world and will allow kids to expose themselves to different words and improve their communication skills and their self-esteem. So once they say that reading is boring, ask them, are you having difficulty detecting the words? Is it hard for you to keep track of characters? Deconstruct that and you'll see the difference.